Happy Monday. I have an off day today. So raindrops. I have my Dustin voice on. So for those on Twitter who like to read me, you'll be happy today. My voice actually matches my looks. Don't y'all love I got a sense of humor? My voice is deeper today. So some of y'all should be happy that I have bass in my voice. All is well in the world. I don't know, dog. It's been a busy month for me. Okay, so where we got Soka Junkie from, is that London? Hi, Mrs. Riper. You've been here before, so you are a mainstay on Monday Night Live. Hey, April Carter. Uh, mm, Beyonce Versace. I'm in a Versace mood today. We got Latoya Bell from Louisiana. We got Lionel, my raindrop Lionel. Okay. Lovely Life Society, where you bore it last night with Atlanta. Oh my God, y'all are so mean. Not the ninjas always late. A lot is going on. My personal life is personalizing. There's a lot going on. It's nothing bad though. Let me just say that, nothing bad. We got Cynthia from San Antonio. We got LaDawn from Charlotte. Okay. Fiji. Hi, everybody. Okay, I had a great weekend. What did I do this weekend? I saw Sinners. Miss Dime. Miss Dime. I saw Sinners this weekend. Okay, so I'm gonna say this: if you have not seen, thank you, Yvette. If you have not seen Sinners with Michael B. Jordan, go see it. There's a lot of hidden messages in the movie. Drew, not to be confused with Sedora. Drew Server, yes, it was good. It was good. I got my life. Yes, it was great. I left there feeling inspired. So I did that. It was Easter. Um let's just say some things were hopping. And it wasn't the bunny. Okay, okay. Ebony, I smell an Oscar for them too. Michael B. Jordan did a great job. Okay, so we have a jam-packed show tonight. I'm in a silly mood. We got a jam-packed show tonight. Okay. Child, a lot is just, I don't think I look my best, but we're gonna figure this out. But the person who always looks their best, given moment, is my homeboy from Flint who has never met a microphone he didn't breathe into sexily. Give it up for Dustin Ross.
What a motherfucking intro. Look, I'm happy to be here. What's up, Carlos? How
You
you
have a new
doing?
background, Dustin. Are you at somebody's house? Did you have a nightcap?
Yeah, I'm at my house. I ain't on the run from nobody, but I definitely changed zip codes. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in New York City, just in a different neighborhood. So, yes, I'm in a new area. That's why I got this big ass hater blocker on my microphone. You know what I'm saying? To
How
keep the
big is
sound.
it?
All the rumors are true. Nah, but you know what I'm saying? Like my new space is like it's like a loft. So I wanted to, sound right. So we had to block it off a little bit. What's up though, Los? How you doing, man? What's up with you?
I don't have big microphones in my place of location, but
Yeah,
um,
you got to bring it
Instacart
with you.
delivers.
Mine, everywhere I go, mine comes with me. So, and I
Well,
heard
my
you
only
say that you got it popping on Easter. You know what the tagline for Easter is? He got up. So if you got up, then you know what I'm saying. I felt like you did what you were supposed to do on Easter Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because I sure came out of my tomb. Okay, it was 420. I was closer to thee. So you already know. Yes, yeah.
was
So
he
that's what's
was he
up.
risen? Did
Oh,
he
he was
rise?
risen. He still every time. Call his name and he just rise. So
Dustin.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? He got up. He got up.
Is he up
He got
now?
up. He got it. No, not right now. Not right now. You know what I'm saying? But he was. He tired. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Oh yeah, all that hunting,
Yep.
egg hunting.
Yep. I sure put mine in a basket. Did you?
Okay. Listen, since I am somebody who likes to give versus receive,
Yeah.
I definitely was on the hunt
Mm-hmm.
for miniature eggs of some sorts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Cadbury Carlos. I like that. Cadbury. That was the good shit. You know what I'm saying? No, but that's what's up. You know what I'm ready to talk about though. So get my girl up here, Los. Let's do this.
We have to do this because I hope she got done this weekend. It was her birthday weekend. She was in Vegas.
Yes.
Give it up for the beautiful, incredibly talented, and dare I say, the highly likable MVP of the moment, Claudia Jordan.
Hell yeah. You muted, Claudia.
Hey y'all, my voice. I've been in Vegas all weekend, so I did my own girls trip this weekend, and I am tore up. So hi.
How was your weekend?
It was one of the best weekends ever. Amazing. Erica Cobb hung out with us, and she's never hung out with my girls. She went above and beyond and did so many extra nice things, and she kept putting her credit card down. I'm like, girl, stop! You're doing too much. I felt bad, but my girls, I feel uncomfortable when people do a lot of things for me. I'm always the one that's like, I got it. So it's uncomfortable for me sometimes, just receive compliments, receive gifts, receive money. I'm always like, oh, this feels weird, but I just let them. And it was a beautiful weekend. We really had an amazing weekend, and the right girls came together. It was so fun.
Y'all look gorgeous, and I'm so salty that I wasn't able to come crash y'all's girls weekend because I see our beautiful friend Danielle was with y'all. Shout out to Danielle.
Oh yes, she came in from Miami.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time. Listen, don't sleep on the 40 and 50-year-olds. We out here having fun. I flew to LA first, and I highlighted my hair because I knew I just wanted
I love the highlight. It's the highlight of the day. Yeah.
Thank you. I was a little bit is it too brassy? I don't know, because the dark hair looks so healthy, and I feel like everyone. But we're gonna see. But it was
something different, some new shit.
Some new shit. I'm trying to manifest some new shit in my life. So you know what I'm saying.
Was there anybody new that came into your life this weekend?
I wish. Listen, when I do, you will know because I will be talking about it because it will be breaking news, CNN, MSNBC. But no, I haven't met anyone. I just get weird people that kind of have my number because my number's been around for 30 years. It's been put out there by some crazy fans and all that kind of stuff. So people have my number. So, oh wait, was I not recording? People have my number. So wait,
Dustin, this is why I love this show. It's live and raindrops. Listen, we thank y'all for watching this show every week. We thank y'all for watching it. As y'all sneaking away from your boss to watch us on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But the best thing about this show is that it's live. So when you watch it live, there's tons of mistakes that happen, but that's the best thing about this trio. So Claudia, you look gorgeous.
You do.
Keep the highlights, baby, as long as you can. I really do like it.
Thank you. I am recording the show now, so you will have my audio from this point forward. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But thank you. I've been looking forward to come hang with y'all. I watched the episode today because I was in Vegas. I literally got back today. So this morning, I did not sleep last night. I was on the craps tables. I had a good time.
I was just about to ask how you did on the tables. Did you do good?
Well, I gotta go through and look at all my withdrawals because when I start drinking, I go to the ATM machine. I just be swipe. I probably went to withdraw at least 8 times.
Okay.
Not the max, but I don't be taking out $200 when I go. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But there was one time I did roll the bonus.
Double digits?
Huh?
Double digits?
I'm not sure. You mean like 10 racks or more? I'm not sure. I gotta go and look. I'm hoping it was like around 5, maybe a 6. But I won money back, so I deposit the money back in my account that I already won. Like I put
So
9K in my account today, but I don't know if I went over that, or I don't know if I lost 5. I don't know if I lost 10. I don't know. I gotta look. Don't tell me now. It's all listen. I don't have sex. I don't do drugs, except a little mushroom every now and then. I don't do shit else. So my advice, I gamble. Okay, I get excited. I get an adrenaline. I don't have kids. That's my kids' college fund.
Yeah.
I gamble, and I also give a lot of money away to people. So before y'all come for me and say I could use that for my rent or these days, listen. It's my one vice. Y'all do coke.
I love gambling.
I do crack.
Personally. I love gambling. I play blackjack, and it ain't nothing like that feeling of hitting on that table and then everybody celebrating. Like that's just a really good moment. So I get it. I'm addicted to the adrenaline rush more than anything. Yeah, like that's a high for me. Plus, you're a winner, so winning is fun. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a winner.
The comment saying Gamblers Anonymous is calling Claudia. Oh yeah, no, I definitely. I'm honest, y'all, even about myself. I legitimately have a gambling problem. It's not a problem.
I wonder if they have merch. That would be cute, right? A Gamblers Anonymous jacket or a hoodie. Let's check and see if they got merch, Claudia.
I'd rock it.
Yeah.
I'd rock it.
Well, listen, you may not have rocked the mic this weekend, but let's rock these conversations. Yeah. None. You like that, Claudia, right?
Did anyone rock the mic this weekend?
So, Dustin likes to play blackjack. I prefer a blackjack. So let's just make sure.
Is that an app?
Claudia, shut up.
That's an app, isn't it?
All y'all doing is jacking. That's boring.
Have you heard of this thing called sides?
Yeah. I try not to judge, right? Because, get it how you live, do what you like. But for me,
explain to Claudia what sides is, Dustin.
So a side is basically like no intercourse, everything but intercourse.
Oh, sides. I thought you said sides. So sides, like a side dish. Okay,
like a side. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your preference when it comes to like sexual engagement with another person. Like no intercourse. So like y'all can do oral, y'all can do like kissing, passionate kissing, stuff like that, but just no intercourse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like
it works for who it works for. I don't judge, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But I just know that it exists. But I just found out that it exists because I didn't know that was possible. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about no sides. So but it's a real thing. And some people, for a lot of different, some people, it can be attributed to a lot of different things, but it's a very real position that people take when it comes to bedroom, engagement. So
good to know.
Yeah.
Sides. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you ever meet a man and he says I'm a side, that means he likes to do other things besides the actual like slide in. No. So he's not a slider, he's a sider.
So we like erectile dysfunction for the erectile dysfunction dolls. Gotcha. Okay. All good.
So that's what it's called. Okay, so let's get into tonight's topic. So first thing first. As you all know, Love and Marriage Detroit is back. Okay, we are in our second episode of the rest of the season. And in this episode, Dustin and Claudia, we have a cast member named Bravo. So Bravo is a married man who owns a couple of nightclubs and restaurants. Bravo is married to a woman who is pretty much his high school sweetheart. They are in their 30s now. They have 2 kids. And Bravo is into the nightlife, right? So he has to be at work at night. So he doesn't come home until the wee hours in the morning. So it was a big discussion in this episode of Love and Marriage Detroit, where his friends were telling Bravo, because your wife is worried about your whereabouts, because she lost her father, because he was also into the nightlife too. So her father, unfortunately, got killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's married to a man who is now in the nightlife. So long story short, his friends suggested to him to make your wife feel more comfortable and safe to where she's not worried all night, share your location. And he said, no, that I'm not sharing my location. I'm not doing that. She needs to trust me. I'm good and I'm going to be all right. And it was a big debate on social media. So Dustin and Claudia, at what point in the relationship or ever should a couple share their location?
Ladies first, Claudia, go ahead.
Obviously, if you don't want to share your locations because you don't want to be seen or you don't want your partner to know where you are. So that's a problem right there. Me and my friends, we share locations just so we know if someone's missing, to check if they're okay. You're not sharing your locations because you're doing something. Unless you have a crazy wife that just rolls up on you, there's really no reason for someone that you are committed to for the rest of your life to not have your location. Like, what are you doing out there? I would do it once we start saying I love you and we're exclusive. Why not? I'm not doing anything. As long as I cut off everybody, I don't have anybody else around. Yeah, I think that's time. Before that, I could see it being a problem if you're still messing around. But once you're not, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is sometimes people can take your honesty and manipulate it, right, to their own advantage. So, yeah, I think if you don't have anything that you're lying about, and if you don't have shit to hide, why not share your location, right? I have multiple of my friends, close friends, who share their locations with me, who've asked me to share my location with them, and I have. But there is something that feels like you're being surveilled. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's watching your moves or trying to measure, you know, what measure the, I don't know, the intention of like wherever you are location wise. And that can get really tricky in a relationship. So I understand why somebody might not want or might feel like that's kind of crossing a line or, you know, kind of encroaching upon boundaries or whatever. But again, it's all about honesty. How honest are you with your partner? How well do you and your partner know each other? You know what I'm saying? If you are on some freak shit somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And that's where you at. Are you okay with standing up and owning that that's where you were? So it just depends on the trust level and the honesty level that you have in that relationship, be it your partner, be it one of your best friends, be it whoever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm with Dustin. So with the African, my former boyfriend, we were together for
many years,
almost 20 years, right? And for those who want to add us a track, we had some breaks. You know how people can be, Carlos, because in 2000, I was on a break, child. Okay. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I was in a long-term relationship and I did all the traveling, most of the traveling. He didn't have to travel that much for work. We never shared our location because listen, let's have a real conversation. I feel like if you decided to be in an exclusive relationship with somebody, you need to be able to trust them blindly. Now, with that being said, on some real shit, because I'm also, you know, a guy, I don't want anybody to know my whereabouts. So at my big age and with everything I have going on, there's two people in my life who have my location. And the reason why these two people have my location is because of a safety reason, because I do travel a lot and I travel internationally a lot alone. And I know if they're not checking for me, what I'm doing, that it's really just in case I don't answer my phone for a couple of hours, they know where I'm at. I knew when I get into a new relationship,
you should have just been like, with my new nigga, you know, didn't say it.
Carlos, you're having a problem with this topic because when we first started talking about the topic, I was looking at your face. You was all looking to the left and up, and you was definitely reminiscing about something in your life that this was an issue for you. I'm clocking that very much so. So spit it out. You're holding back, trying to be cute about it. Just tell us what the fuck happened because you are holding back on some shit, and I see it all over your face, Carlos. I see you.
What?
Look, guilty. Look at that. Look at your look.
No, I mean, listen.
You had an issue with location sharing, didn't you?
No. The thing is this: I had an issue with the fact that I may not have always been the most, you know, Savory. So what I'm saying is
Savory. That's a cute word. Cute word. Savory. Oh, that's adorable. Savory.
listen. All I'm saying is this: I don't like anybody knowing everything about me. Claudia, this thing you clocked me. She didn't clock me. I'm gonna tell you one thing about me. No, one thing about me. I'm a grandfather clock. I'm gonna clock my own team all day.
I'm Big Ben in London. How about that? I clocked it. There's something going on here, Carlo. There's something going on here.
So look, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm constantly being monitored.
Yeah. I think as long as you say that, that's fine. Like, to me, the problem comes when motherfuckers start lying about shit. If you have that conversation about location sharing and you just say, yo, I just don't like feeling like somebody's watching me, that you know, it's just a police ass feeling. I don't like it. I don't want that. Then, you know, you can accept that. Once you start lying, I'm here, I'm not there, turning it off and I can't see it. You know what I mean? To me, it just opens the door for a huge can of worms. Now, Bravo and his wife got kids. They married. Shit's a little different. You know what I'm saying? It's a family.
That's true.
The level of safety and security as far as knowing where he is, especially considering her losing her dad, is different, right? But if we just kicking it type shit, ain't no kids involved or no legal papers that we signed saying we, you know, connected. No, you can't have my location.
I agree with that. Trust me, I've never been a girl to go through. I think I went through one man's phone in my entire 52 years. Like, I'm not that girl. Like, I don't go through. I don't try to roll up. I don't do that crazy stuff. Like, it's the information as a journalist always falls on my lap. Like, sources will come to me. I don't need to do all that. But like, considering they're married, they have kids, and there's an issue already with him staying out late in the work that he does. That's an issue. I think if the compromise is, honey, my what I do, I'm out in the streets, I'm out late, whatever. But I will give you a location to ease your mind. If you're a regular 9-to-5 person that's pretty much has a, you know, structured schedule,
right?
Yeah, all right, that's a little annoying. You don't really need that, but the nature of what he does, maybe there's a history of something that has gone on, and then she already said that she had issue with her dad, like she lost her dad, right? Like in the streets.
Yeah.
So it totally makes sense in her mind. You know, and these people are married. We're not talking about jump offs, one-offs, fucking around for the summer. My boyfriend, you're my husband. That's different. Like, y'all share insurance plans. Y'all know each other's blood type and medical history. You can't get the location, but I get your medical history. To me, that's an issue. But boyfriends, oh no, you ain't getting no locations.
Yeah, fuck that.
Call one of my homegirls and ask her where I'm at.
Right. And I'm so sorry, but if we married and we ain't got no kids, good luck, motherfucker. You know, I'm trying to keep it so real with you. Like, I think the kid thing for me is like the line. You know what I mean? We a family, we got shit. You know, we need to know each other are, but like otherwise, I'm not finna feel like I'm in a relationship with
the police.
Yeah, with Carl Winslow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna feel like that. Like, I'm sorry. So
there'll be no NYPD blues at the King
no.
residence. Okay. At the end of the day, look, I believe in direct conversations. I'm at the point in my life where I'm too direct, right? So if I even wanted to do something, I'm the type to be like, yo, I feel like I want to do something, and you have the right to like not accept it, but I just feel like you have to
do something like what? Wait, whoa.
Yeah, we
not
like
what we talking about here?
Yeah,
you mean like a motherfucker don't want you to be in the streets, and you like, yo, I want to go hang out tonight, so I'm going to be with my friends? Or are you talking about what I think you're talking about? What you talking about?
I think, listen, I'm not saying this is what I do now because I'm single, right? What I'm saying is I'm at the point now in my life, Claudia, shut up, where my next relationship, I know for a fact that I would be like, hey, if the opportunity presents itself where you and I both need to figure things out separately, then do it. I would rather you tell me, like, look, I'm going on a boys' trip to Tulum, Mexico. Something may happen. I just want you to know. I want that type of relationship to where we're like, look, it is what it is. I want to be honest about it. Or look, there's certain things happening in our relationship that I don't like. Let's work on it. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to handle my business. I just feel like people after the age of 40 should be grossly honest to each other.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised how respectful that would be.
I agree. I don't want nobody saying that shit to me, but I want to have a relationship where we can say that to each other. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's important. So I agree.
Yeah, and for the record, I want a monogamous relationship because my problem is this. And we'll get into Tracee Ellis Ross in a second because my sister cooked, but it's been a huge debate on Twitter. I want to be in a monogamous relationship because I am a monogamous person. However, Claudia Jordan, journalist, I'm also a realist. I also know that if I'm not living with my man, I don't know what you're doing. If I'm in a long distance relationship, I can pretty much assume you may be doing something.
Yeah.
So I prefer for both of us to be on some real G shit like, look, this is what it is. Because I feel like honesty is the best policy. And that brings me to Tracee Ellis Ross, who, like Claudia, is a 52-year-old, gorgeous, accomplished woman. Okay? Tracee Ellis Ross went on my forever first lady, Michelle Obama's podcast, along with her brother. Love Michelle Obama's podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to it, where she talked about her dating experience. Tracee revealed to Michelle that she is dating younger men. And she said that she has learned that the men she dates who are her age, she felt that, and I'm paraphrasing, but she felt that some of them were rooted in their ideology of what a relationship should be. She talked about sexual fluidity. She talked about, accepting what things are right now in the world. And she felt that some of the guys she was dating had this sense of ownership when it came to her owning her. And she didn't like it. And she felt that the younger guys she was dating, that they fit more of what she was looking for. Now, a lot of straight men, including Lil Duval and Joe Budden, had a problem with this. And they said that if a man would have said that, it would be an issue. Now, I would love to hear from Claudia first about this because she and Tracee are the same age. What I would like to say is this: a hit dog will holler because Tracee never once disclosed the age. She said younger. That could be, she's 52. That could mean a 40-year-old man or a 45-year-old man. She didn't say the guy was 20 or 18. So I wanted to say that in terms of, I didn't understand the uproar. But Claudia, as a 52-year-old woman who is single like Tracee, how did you feel about her comments?
Well, I know she's kind of given two different interviews recently. One, she said she was happily single. I think that was on Oprah's podcast, but she was like, I'm happily single. And she was kind of leaning into being single. Listen, no one's going to come to steal my peace and disrupt my life unless they are making my life better. She said that. And then on this interview with Michelle Obama, she said that, she was kind of grieving, like not having, so I'm not sure where she leans now more. But I just feel like with women, like, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. You date older, they're going to tell you just you're out there for money. There's no way you actually like this. Shut up, cats. Yes, I'm a single cat lady. You don't have to scream when I'm on air right now. They know. They fucking know. Sorry. Shelly is like, my op. Anyways, so like, then if she dates younger, they assume, like you said, that she's talking about some 28-year-old, 30-year-old, hot boy. And she wasn't. At this point, 52 years old, if you're single, like, you probably haven't had the best of luck in relationships, or your standards may be unrealistic, or you're very picky. I will say I'm very picky, and I will own that. I'm okay with that. If you meet someone, you vibe with someone that happens to be 10, 12, 15 years younger, then you should go for it. At 52 years old, we are not spring chickens anymore. We're still fabulous, but I always joke to my friends, I go, yo, I'm at the beginning of the fourth quarter right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I got way more years behind me than in front of me. So if I vibe with someone, like, the thought of me dating someone 30, 35 is like, to me, like, I like a more mature man, but I'm not going to like shoot someone down if you are 40 years old, 38, and you got it going on. I'm extremely attracted to you, and you're doing all the things that I need that turn me on and that I respect. So I don't know why they're coming for her so hard. Like, I don't know. But, this internet, they be mad at her today and celebrating her tomorrow. The internet, everybody on the internet, you're all bipolar. So that's what I think.
Yeah, so first of all, I think niggas need to zoom out, okay, and realize who we're talking about. Tracee Ellis Ross is not no regular lady. Let's just keep it real. Her mother is motherfucking Diana Ross. Also, so let's talk about what that means. That means she's been exposed to like a worldview that is not typical. She's seen more than the average person her age. Also, of her own right, she had a very deep, very acclaimed career in fashion before she even started acting and became famous in her own right as an actor. So she's been around a global, she has a global worldview, right? So when it comes to dating men who are anything other than what most people understand the typical profile of a male to be, she's open to that. You know what I'm saying? She's seen a lot, done a lot, been around the world, met people in positions of power, or whatever you want to term it as. She's done it. So it's a different lens that she's looking at the dating world through. And I think that that's relevant in this case. Tracee Ellis Ross is fly as fuck, always has been, got everything in her own right. It's not many niggas that can keep up with that, especially not niggas her own age. If you look at the average 52-year-old guy and you look at her, of course, her lifestyle and the way she moves, the things that she does, that they can be attributed to someone that is typically normally younger than 52, right? Her life is not that of the average 52-year-old woman's. So a younger man is going to skew better for her. It made perfect sense to me. And I just don't understand why everybody was so upset, especially Lil Duval and Joe Budden. I don't see her dating anybody like either one of them personally.
I will say this, what you said, Dustin.
Yeah.
She also, again, my birthday dinner this weekend, only one woman there was married and one was in a relationship. The rest were all single, beautiful, got it going on, all pretty much same age. And we all got to talking about these types of things. And the stories that girls were sharing, these women were sharing, is when you're older, well, you're a woman, especially a Black woman, and you're successful, you almost get penalized by it. Like you're almost deemed undateable. I remember meeting a guy, like talking to someone, and after he found out that just bought a Bentley, got a house, got all these things, right? My own chain or whatever, these things. They said, well, you don't need a man. And I said, how so? They said, well, what can I do for you? I'm like, be there for me, emotional support, intimacy, love, feeling someone has my back. Like, I think men think that women like that, like the bar is so high that I'd have to meet them at, that I'd rather not even put the effort in, so I don't even try. Or they think, oh, I could never get with someone like that. So a lot of times these women are lonely and single or not approached. A lot of women are not approached, or they're penalized. Again, I remember, a lot of these conversations, the nightmare stories of women that are successful and men almost being turned off by them, or preemptively bracing themselves for this masculine energy that they think you might have, where you may have to have that in career, but that does not mean that when we bring it home, we go home, it's not like that. I was with KJ. He was a blue collar guy for years, still my best friend to this day. And in our relationship, yes, I was boss mode outside of work, but when I came home, it was very feminine energy in the house. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked that long if it was I came home and I was demanding, and this nightmare that men think that a successful woman has. And I think men maybe, I know it sounds so cliche, intimidated, but I think look at a lot of successful women that are single. Sanaa Lathan, Nia Long, Oprah. Well, she was 7, but there's so many. Just go down the list. Type in famous Black actresses, right? And most of them are single women. They're not married. And they've had access to a lot of all kinds of men. And I think I will say, I will make an argument for successful women almost being deemed like they're on the top. They're on a shelf that men don't want to climb that high to get to, because it would require a lot of work and being accountable for things.
I don't understand that. I come from a family of strong, confident Black men who take care of their families, raise their kids, and encourage their women to be driven and ambitious and confident and have things in their own right. So when I see men have knee-jerk reactions to very simple statements like the one that Tracee Ellis Ross made, I just don't get it. The whole intimidation thing, I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? I think that there is a much smaller dating pool of men that quantify or qualify at a certain level of success comparatively to women. Women are outpacing. They are more educated than men right now. It is what it is, and so they're without having to choose to date down almost, right? It lessens the number of men that are available. So it's just one of those fucked up things. But I don't understand men who can hear something like what Tracee Ellis Ross said and feel offended by that or take away like well, she's wrong. I just didn't get that. So I don't know. I might
that's why
here, but I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, well listen. So one thing as a journalist myself, I did speak to Black straight men about this because I did want to understand. Now this is my point of view. I spoke to a successful Black man, and on some real shit, what Claudia's saying is true. Again, I didn't interview all Black men in the world, so maybe not, so stop it. But the ones I have spoken to personally have echoed what Claudia said. Now, they also told me, Carlos, I will tell you, but please don't reveal who I am. And one thing about a journalist, we don't reveal our sources. Now, I'm going to tell you what a Black straight man said to me.
Okay.
He did say, when it comes to successful Black women, he is tired of being told by them, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I don't need you, I got this and I got that. And he said, Los, well, shit, if you got all that, then why do I have to pay all of the food for dinner? Why do I have to constantly pay for everything? If you're so successful and strong, then shit, go 50-50. Since you want to broadcast your success to me, how about you show up then? How about you let me pay 50% of our outings?
Ooh,
again,
lame ass nigga rhetoric. Lame nigga rhetoric alert.
I know. I'm not, again, this is what, because I really wanted to understand how some felt. Again, this isn't everybody.
Right.
It was the ones I was speaking to. And that's why when Claudia said what she said, I was holding it inside like, oh my gosh, it kind of quantifies exactly what her point is. And I got in trouble for saying this on Nene Leakes podcast, which I was like, first of all, y'all take anything we say and y'all twist it to drama. So long story short, Nene Leakes is single. And Nene Leakes is, I think, the same age too, 52, if I'm not mistaken.
She older than that. Not that she's an old woman at all.
She's
older than 52. Yeah, not at all. I'm not saying
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So Nene Leakes, who's around the same age, not to be technical.
We're in the same decade. We're in the same decade.
Okay. I said on her podcast, the Nene Leakes show, subscribe to her, y'all. I said to her, you should look into possibly dating outside your race. I feel like over 40, you should not just date your type. Look into dating other types, younger men, white men. And a lot of Black men felt, and they said it to me, Black straight men felt like, why are you telling her to not date us? I said, I never once told her not to date a Black man. I said to her, date outside your race, date younger, and start exploring other avenues since it's not working out for you. Because once again, 99% of my Black female friends who are over 40 and are successful, 99% of them are with white men. And that's just the facts of life. Shout out to Tootie.
Yeah, I don't know. Nene, she's a special case, right? Like Nene's a huge personality. She's famous. She's a widow. There's a lot of elements in the mix to finding a good partner for her, right? So it might be a little more challenging. Nene also strikes me as a person. I don't know her personally, but based on what I see online and on television, she seems really, really set in her ways. You can't really. I don't know how she received that information from you to go out and look and try something new, right? She probably responded that she had it all figured out in her own way. She knows her type, whatever. She just doesn't seem like the type to really even be in environments that are foreign to her like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really.
But don't you think, well, let me ask you this. And that's why I'm so glad Claudia's here too, because do you feel like the women at your table that you were with this past weekend? Because your friends are stunningly gorgeous, and that's why I always tell people it has nothing to do with the looks, and that's why I'm glad Claudia clocked it, and I'm glad I did speak to a few because you have these beautiful Black women who's in Claudia's social circle.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous to look at, and you would think they are in relationships. So something has to give. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that Claudia felt that way, that a small few of Black straight men said that to me. I do think, listen, I think Tracee Ellis Ross wanting younger, I think a lot has to do with the fact what you said too, Dustin. She is Diana Ross's daughter. She's accomplished. She's seen the world. So that it could be some intimidation there. And I think she's so aware of who she is that a man could be intimidated by it. Because Claudia, why do your friends think they're single?
Why do they think I'm single or they're single?
All of you guys, like when you guys were at the table, what's the consensus in terms of we're all attractive women who are successful? Why don't we have a man?
A lot of them feel like a lot of men, we're talking about Black men here, because everyone, pretty much no one there is really abandoned Black men. They're still like they still want to have a relationship.
That's their preference.
That's their preference. But some are open, but for the most part, the majority want. I feel like this 50-50 conversation is something I mostly hear with Black men. I never hear white men talking about this, which sucks.
Because it's never mind.
It's lame niggas that talk like this. Like, now listen, when a woman is being properly taken care of and she feels like you got your masculine energy around her and you're covering her and you're protecting her, a woman with means will give you more than 50%. We're buying you jewelry. We're taking you on trips. We're doing things for you. We're like, let's go get this crib together. You will get that. Don't think that these women that have all this disposable income want to go 50-50 with you, and then they're not going to do anything else for you. Most Black women are very nurturing people anyways. And a lot of us that are successful put aside motherhood and didn't have kids. So there's a lot of extra money there. And guess who they want to dote on? You. You know, and I'm just so sick of this like epidemic that's happening. I think for a long time, the currency that we both, men and women had, men had the financial currency, right? So it didn't really matter how they looked. They can just get away with whatever. Their currency was money. And for the longest time, women didn't have access to money, credit cards, bank accounts, career. So their currency was sex and looks and doing things for you, right? So when things switched up and now women are kind of they have the money and they have the looks, I think some men are resentful of that. Like, bitch, like it's almost like I got to bring you down a peg. And that's another conversation. A lot of women at the table said the men that they date that are successful feel like they need to humble them.
Yeah,
Yes, and downplay the work and downplay and I tell my girlfriends, and I don't know if this is good or bad advice. Y'all tell me what you think. I go, they don't care about your success, how successful, they don't care. Like, stop even letting them know that. Other women respect that, but men usually aren't looking for a partner that she makes this much money. Well, except the fuckboys that want to like leech off you, but they're usually looking at peace, you know, how beautiful you are, the good sex, you know, whatever, less drama. So they're not really attracted to you telling them how many successful companies you have. It actually is almost annoying to some of these men because they want their currency is that. So now you're stepping over the line into their area. So it becomes a competition. You're butting heads. It's like two people with big dick energy.
Maybe with the wrong niggas, right? Because to me, a real boss, a confident man, somebody who is accomplished, someone who has worked hard, set goals and accomplished them, reached them, they're not going to be on no competitive energy with a woman. You know what I'm saying? That they're interested in dating. And so to me, if you see any semblance of that sort of energy, that sort of perspective, that sort of disposition, you know what I'm saying? That's the automatic red flag. And that's how you know that's not the guy for you. Because there are tons of men out there who are successful, driven, looking for partnership, looking for companionship, eager to be a father, eager to be a provider and go first. I think you just beautifully illustrated how things can go when a man goes first. Show yourself worthy. Show that you have the means to take care of things and that you're willing to. You're not even going to ask about no 50-50 shit because you want to assume a position of headship in the relationship. So you go ahead and pay first. And then a woman like yourself who has access to resources that you work so hard for, tirelessly for, you're more than willing to offer them up and then things are clear. Somebody got to go first. Somebody has to be willing to say, okay, I want to be the leader in this relationship, so I'm gonna show and prove. Let me do. And it doesn't always look like financial, contribution, but that's a great way to represent your stake that you're taking in the success of the relationship. I don't know why that's so hard for so many niggas. And to me, if I was a woman, I don't think I would be attracted to a guy who's, I don't like what she said about younger niggas because she wrong. To me, that's not attractive. That's not going to make a successful woman who's looking for someone that's confident and self-assured. That's not going to draw them to you. So I just don't understand it, but whatever. I'm not a straight black man. I fuck niggas. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe my lens is a little off here. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But I have a lot of male friends who are heterosexual. My brother, who I'm very close to, like my family members. So I'm around guys that date women and they don't act like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't act like that conversation.
Send them over to my crew, because the conversation, not once in the conversation with all, I mean, Tracee Edmonds was at my table, single, gorgeous,
gorgeous.
Dee, huh? Danielle, your other friend, like, come on,
Nancy.
These are women that.
I mean,
Annie.
I mean, these are great women, and not one of them said, I want a man to pay all the bills and got me. They loved being successful. They want a partnership with someone, but they can't get it. It's either the brokey guy that wants to come up on a woman and get the sugar mama. And a lot of men think that because you're older and you're single, that you're somehow desperate and all you want is dick. And all I got to bring to the table is like, oh, she probably, want me to blow her back out. Yes, we do. But we also want to be able to talk about the stock market together in your crypto portfolio and like maybe this apartment complex we want to buy together. That's what's going to get the vagina extremely wet, because we're at this age, we get more excited by stuff like that than your six pack and your dick. I mean, we like that too, but it's levels, it's layers of this thing. But I do really feel really bad for a lot of the women that are successful, like a Tracee Ellis Ross, that people probably think all they need to do is bring them bare minimum of some great sex as a younger man, and an older man probably resents some of her access and attention that she would get. And there's a lot of jealousy and insecurity going on, and there's a whole battle of the sexes right now that I feel. And I wish we can have a town hall with straight black men and straight black women, not to exclude anyone, but I just think there's an epidemic right now. Yes, and we need to talk to each other, because guess what? We're just women talking amongst ourselves without any straight men, black men there. And black men are with each other, giving each other shitty ass advice.
I know. So that's why. So listen. And we're going to move on to the next topic. But the thing is this. Okay. Dustin knows this too. When give away the God's profession. Lord Jesus, thank you, God, for censoring my mouth. Okay. But Dustin does know this too. The beauty of being, I'll speak for myself, because God knows I ain't trying to speak for the rest of the gay men in the world. So let me speak for myself. And Dustin, you may agree or not. I will say in my life, one of the benefits, because there's many, but one of the benefits of me being a gay man is women and straight men really do talk to me freely on some bro shit. Obviously, when I'm with the girls, I'm one of the girls. When I'm with the guys, I'm one of the guys. So I'm able to extract a lot of information from them. So when I ask these guys on some bro shit, like tell me what's going on. The problem is these men are afraid of publicly saying this. These guys said to me, I'm going to tell you, Los, but you promise not to expose me. And I said, no, because some of them may be known, some aren't. But they were so afraid, Claudia, of being exposed because they know that their opinion is unpopular. So before I move on, I want to say this. I want to ask this. What will it take for a black straight man to feel comfortable telling black women how they feel if they do feel like they're afraid of getting canceled or getting read? How is there a way, to your point? I would love to do a town hall. Me and Dustin can moderate it. But how can we get black straight men to be available to talk about this freely? Because Claudia, they are afraid to.
I get it. everyone's so judgmental now. And I understand that Black men probably do feel like anything I say can be used against me and I'll get attacked. I think that people often go for the wrong people. Like the good guys are going after the girls that are going to be a nightmare. Stop picking women based on their BBLs and on their social media. There's quality women out there, just like I know there are quality men out there, right? That's number one. Number two, talk to each other. Don't just talk amongst your boys. And I feel like people are a different person with their crew a lot of times than they are publicly. And a lot of times people posture publicly and they're not really keeping it a buck. And sometimes we smell that, right? And then we got to react. And it's just like it's a performative. When you're one-on-one with the woman you're interested in, have those real conversations and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. The right one is not going to judge you. The wrong one will. The right one will say, I appreciate you opening up and telling me something that may not be deemed positive. I mean, popular, but I respect that. I think we're just not, we're not giving people enough credit that they actually may have the capacity to be critical thinkers and to accept you for that. I'm telling you, one of the most beautiful things I had was a straight man that I was talking to that was in the business and had a whole bunch of people that liked him, showed up to my door one day. I'll tell you who it is later. And rode a motorcycle over, black leather down, raining. I opened the door. He sat there. He had roses. He had tears in his eyes and water. And he cried to me about some family shit. Did I think that was weak? Hell no. But if I was with a group of women that were like in a bad place themselves or miserable, oh, that's some pussy ass shit. But one-on-one, we had a beautiful conversation about it. And this happened like over 20 years ago. To me, it remains as one of the most beautiful moments of my dating history that you thought that this was a safe space to open up. And I had so much love for that. I love that moment. It meant so much. I'm telling y'all, I'm not a unicorn. There's other women like that. Get out of these group settings where you're on the Joe Buttons, podcast where it's not really cool to like be vulnerable. You got other men that are backing your toxicity. And women, get out of the toxic group. If you're with toxic girlfriends, get away from them and have a one-on-one conversation about it. The beauty is going to be there.
Yeah. I also want to add this to the floor before we move on. You don't get to have it both ways. So once the conversation about, male and female relationships easily can evolve into a space of like gender roles and the discussion of that. So if you want to operate in a space where the man is the boss and you want a woman that is submissive to you and a woman that is catering and nurturing to your needs, assume the position, nigga. You got to step up and be the boss. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to bitch and moan on podcasts and all these other spaces where the conversation is opened up and not show yourself worthy as a leader. If you want to be the boss, you got to pay the cost. So if you are that type of nigga, or if you're that type of woman that wants a man like that, then everybody got to play their position. You can't say you were the boss and shit and then try to explain it. All right, well, you need to understand. No, run the show then. Pay your way. You know what I'm saying? Make her life easier. Take care of her. Do that if that's what, I'm not saying that's the right way to operate, but I just get frustrated when I see these guys who tout themselves as, the boss of the situation. They want to be understood, but then they go directly into a 50-50 conversation about a goddamn dinner bill. To me, there's a misalignment there. You know what I'm saying? So although I think that way of operating in a relationship is archaic and toxic, if that's what you want to do, fine. Just pay your way like you say you want to roll. That's all I'm saying. You don't get to have it both ways. Shut up and quit bitching. You know what I'm saying? And just run it if that's what you want.
All right.
You can't. One last sentence. You cannot. Exactly, Justin. You want to be a boss, but you also want a mother. I said to someone before, I can't be a mother and your lover. I will be. One of them's got to. I have to feel like I'm your mother and baby you and treat you like a child because you can't do anything for yourself, then I'm not going to be sexually attracted to you. I'm not going to be, and you're not going to get that. You're going to get mother simple energy. It's very simple. Do you want your woman to be your mother or feel so in her feminine energy because she feels so safe that she want to freak the shit out of you and give you all your fantasies where you are so drained from her that you're not going to be able to go out there and go get it anywhere else because you got it at home. That's what I'm on. Anyways. What else is going on in the words of Cynthia?
I
Bailey?
love it. No, listen. I'm glad we talked about that. That's again the beauty of Monday Night Live is yes, we recap reality TV, but the stuff that we just talked about, as you can see, is kind of what we're passionate about everything. But I love the fact that the three of us in our varied experiences in life are able to really discuss this because this is a reason why this show is so special because talking about stuff like this is so relatable and universal to our audience that, more of this will be on the horizon. Unfortunately, Mia Thornton would not be on anyone's horizon because she will no longer be a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Mia Thornton, affectionately created by me, Mia B. Lion, the name. Mia B. Lion is flying away from Potomac and she has landed in Atlanta, Georgia. So Mia said on her Instagram this morning, Dustin and Claudia, that Dustin, let me finish, Dustin.
I can't wait to hear this conversation between y'all two.
Listen, on a serious note, Mia Thornton decided to move to Atlanta. She went from the back of the plane to the front of the trap house. Mia, I love you. Mia has flown. Mia, I love you. I'm back for Mia has flown on Frontier and decided to land in Atlanta. And we wish Mia the best. Dustin and Claudia, I was very saddened by the news, although not surprised. And I'll get into that after Dustin and Claudia share their stories because I want them to go first. But how do y'all feel about Mia B. Lion not being able to be in Potomac and not on the show anymore?
I feel like Claudia needs to go first. She was a housewife. I feel like you need to go first, Claudia. Go ahead. What's your expert opinion, my love?
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Is that bad? I think now that, I know, Carlos, you're a big fan of hers. I thought she was interesting. The parts that I did see that she brought some shit and she got that, that whole thing with the husband, the baby daddy, well, the other guy and all that shit. Maybe she can go on Atlanta Housewives now and Britt, her and Britt can be like besties because I kind of see them like, I could see like them kind of like vibing a little bit. No, so Dustin, you can't stand her for the show. And Carlos, you're a huge fan. Right?
Yes.
And so, Justin, you're happy about this. And Carlos, you're devastated about this. Because you think she's a big star.
So the reason that I think it was the right, I don't want to say I'm happy about her leaving the show, right? Because that sounds, I don't know. I'm not happy about her leaving the show, but I think she made the right choice to leave the show, right? We did not have a chance to connect to Mia in an authentic way. From day one, she was on some fake ass shit being on this show. Day one, her first season, the relationships never seemed authentic. She would be close with Karen one season, not close with her the next season. She had these relationships this season, not these relationships that season. She would overlook the things that would be deemed egregious from Giselle, but because she was trying to be friends with her, it just was all over the place. There was never an authentic representation of who the fuck Mia Thornton was on this show. And that's why people like me, who have been watching this show from day one, missed her, right? We missed the connectivity moment when it came to Mia. Carlos has a very specific lens that he sees the shows through as a producer. He recognizes and appreciates things that he can pull from her as a producer that I may not see and be able to thus appreciate, right? However, based on what I've seen, beat it. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be like that, but you can go on and roll down the street. I also think that we need to kill this stigma of feeling like your career is over. You know what I'm saying? If you don't work on the Housewives of whatever city anymore, it's not the end of your work in entertainment and media if you so choose to pursue a path as such, right? She just ain't on that show no more. And maybe other shows will be a better fit for her. Maybe other opportunities will come her way that, the great things about Mia can be showcased and platformed and lauded and celebrated, right? But I was tired of watching her on the Housewives. I felt bad for her husband, Gordon. You know, when do we ever feel bad for the damn husband? That's how you know we have departed from whoever we supposed to be paying attention to at the time. And it was Mia. So I've been told y'all I felt like she was all over the place and doing some wild, dirty shit this season. That this past season, it was not her best moment. While I think that she brought a lot to the show, and she could still be there, I don't think that she needed to go. But I'm glad I don't have to see her and Ink doing like this. You know what I'm saying, for another season. I'm just glad I don't have to see that.
Is there an argument to be made though, like you know how you describe it, everything? I mean, there's people that are on TV that are like that lie a lot and can't keep track of dates and all kind of things and you know what I'm saying? Like wealth and all, like that's kind of like a staple in the reality world. Like there's like you're gonna have like someone on the show like that. I could see why Carlos would be enamored with her being good for a show, because you gotta, every franchise needs like a villain. They need the person that they kind of go in on. They need the hot mess. If they all had it together, like, can you see it for that? Can you see it for her for that alone, for bringing kind of a little bit of a mess?
You know, I'm old school, Claudia. You know that I don't give a fuck about the messy shit. I think it's disgusting that people go over into looking up shit. And I don't like all that. I just want to be entertained by what I see on the show. And to me, you're a one trick pony if that's all you got. You got to be able to be, okay, if you're willing to maybe say something that everybody's thinking and not willing to say, that does add value to the show and to the viewer's experience. But that can't be all you got. You have to have something substantive at some point. I honestly could watch a show with no drama and just a bunch of fly ass motherfuckers winning at life and feel like, wow, this is a purview into what I want in life. I could enjoy that. I don't have to see people saying something. I don't have to have all that. You know what I'm saying?
Highly intelligent.
That's me. You know what I mean? And I also don't not, because I still watch Zeus. I watch Baddies. I watch Now That's TV. I watch all that shit. So there's an appetite there when it's that time, but that's not why I watch fucking Real Housewives. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. There's different levels. And to me, if all you have is doing something that people consider shocking and, you know, riding that, to me, you fizzle out fast. That's not sustainable in the television and entertainment landscape. And you know that because you've been working for a long time, Claudia. Carlos, you too. Y'all know what it takes to continue to stay afloat. I am entertained, but it takes more. And to me, once you got kids on TV saying to you, you don't need to marry Mr. Ink, and you know, and Gordon is crashing out in real time, to me, there needs to be a reset of some sort. And maybe her exit this season, maybe that's her reset. I wish Mia the best. I think that she has a great personality for entertainment. She's got a willingness to add entertainment value to whatever project she's a part of, and that can look like success. Hopefully, I saw her doing some things in radio with Ink, the guy that she was fucking around on Gordon with or whatever. Hopefully they see success with that, have shows, and she's able to pivot into broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I want that for her, but I just was less than impressed with what she offered to the Real Housewives of Potomac. So that's where bye. That's how I feel.
Okay. Well, hi, Dustin. Hello. How are you? Okay, so this is Carlos King's take. Unpopular, maybe, but this is my real take. Yeah. When Mia Thornton first got on the show, Claudia, you don't watch a lot of the reality shows. You're a busy woman.
I'm starting to now, though, because of this, though. Like, I am starting to.
Yeah. But no, I want to go back in terms of telling you how she appears. So me and Dustin will know this. Mia Thornton's first scene was an all-cast scene. Karen Huger brought her to Wendy's event. Mm-hmm. And she talked about how much Botox she had. She talked about her vagina being redone, rejuvenated, you know, BBL, nip and tuck here and there. And it was this pretty girl being so self-deprecating. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's a star. Because I appreciated the fact that she came on her first scene pretty much saying, I'm going to tell all my shit and it is what it is, right? And the audience appreciated. I went on record saying what we're watching right now is a star. Like, she is a star. Mia's first couple of seasons, whether it was throwing the salad at Candace in response to Candace calling her feet big or whatever, she had a lot of momentum, right? Mia Thornton first couple of seasons, she had a lot of momentum because she didn't take it too seriously. She wasn't investigating anybody. She wasn't spreading rumors about someone's husband. She wasn't digging dirt on people. She came in the scene, she was who she was, and she kept it moving, and she made you laugh. And I was into it. I did say that Mia was the future of Potomac, and I stand by it. I stand by the fact that her earlier seasons, she had all of the ingredients to be the future of Potomac. I think what happened with Mia on some real shit, and that's why I started calling her Mia Be Lying. I'm the one, for the record.
You coined that.
I coined Mia Be Lying. And Claudia, that made it on the reunion stage where Candace said, well, the folks call you Mia Be Lying. And everybody said, the folks is Carlos King. Like, he gave her that. He loves her, but he acknowledges Mia Be Lying. So what happened with Mia, she started to become a caricature of herself. And one thing that happens on reality television that I know for a fact, when some reality stars start seeing what the audience responds to, they start to become that character. I'm the villain. I'm the ditz. I'm the shady queen, whatever. They start to become the moniker in which the audience heralds them on. And I think the mistake that Mia made is she fell into the tropes of what we all thought was interesting, and to be given the first seat at the reunion twice consecutively, back-to-back seasons. Not only did I feel that way, evidently your bosses felt that way too. So let's have a real conversation. I felt that way. I don't work on the show, and clearly by design, because I know how that show works, your bosses felt the same way, that this woman is the future of the show. I think the biggest mistake Mia made, and this is something I said to her, so I'm not talking about her behind her back. The biggest mistake my girl made was leaving the reunion stage building. Not just leaving the stage, going to your dressing room and calling your publicist, you know, because that's what some of these girls do, honey. She left the building. And the moment she did that, I knew, because I know how this works. I was like, this isn't great. It's not great for you. And I think it goes to show you. And Claudia, I would love to get your thoughts on this, because you've been in the business for 30 years. Everybody wants to be the star. A lot of people don't have what it takes to handle that. When you are the star, the eyeballs are on you, the attacks come, people love you, people hate you, and you have to be okay with both. Okay? Not everyone's gonna fuck with you, and you gotta live with that. People are going to try to tear you down. You gotta accept that that's the fate when you are the star. I love Mia. I think if Mia had to do this all over again, I think Mia would say to you, that crown was heavy, and I wasn't ready to carry it.
You know, a lot of people think that, like, if they've had some success they've done pageants, or they modeled, or they did some acting, or they had some kind of foot in the door of entertainment, that they are going to be totally fine when they do reality television. I had a conversation with Mike Hill about this when he first started dating Cynthia, and he was going to be on Housewives. I said, Mike, do not mess up. Be on your P's and Q's, because this is different than anything you've ever been through. He says, girl, I've been on TV for a long time. I go, yes, as a sports reporter. It is a totally different fan base. It's a totally different pressure. People that watch your sports broadcasts are not going to dig in and watch your tweets and see whose posts you're liking to see if you're doing anything shady. I said, this will be the biggest invasion of your privacy that you've ever had in your life. And I promise you, nothing will prepare you for this. It's nothing like that. And everyone, he said it, he talked about this. He goes, man, I was wrong. I was like, I got it. He goes, I didn't have it. And I wasn't prepared for what comes with it. So to your point, yes, people do want to be the star, but I encourage you all that do reality TV. Don't try to be the star. Be a good team player, and people will see you where you are, and they will lift you, like we're doing with Angela right now.
100%.
Trying to be the star, and just by being authentic in your space where you're just chilling, you will get the attention you want. But when you go in hot,
what Nene did.
Yes, when you go in hot, like a Britt who could have just sat back and chilled and let the star come to her, you burn yourself out when you're doing that. You just go and you'll get a moment. You'll be in a dinner scene and something will happen, and the way you'll react will make people talk about you 10 years later for something you said. But when you go in there trying so hard, lying and trying to put a square peg in a round hole, the viewers are not dumb, and they see through it, and then you turn people off. So I would just say, like, you go in there and just you do your thing and just be you. And I do believe that it is very hard. It's easier said than done, because what do we do every week? We go look at the comments. Oh, they said my nose looks big. Maybe I should get surgery. Oh, my lips are small. They're saying I don't have any lips. Let me go get a little injection. And before you know it, 5 years later, you don't even look like the person that you started in this field. And you can't really love yourself if you made a whole new self.
Which is why I stay my ass out them comments, because I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I say what I have to say. I stay out the comments. And honestly, it's from a place of respect. Thank God people watch and are even implored or moved to leave a comment, right? We don't have to agree with what they're saying in the comments, but I just feel like that's the space for the commenters. And I stay the hell up out of there because I just want to keep my head clear. But yeah, so see you, Mia. That's all I got to say. See you, Mia. That's it.
Well, I wanna get you guys this. So
Dustin.
The final thing with Mia left me a comment, and I want to read it to you, Dustin and Claudia. So when she announced her departure, I did say to her, like, Mia, with a crying emoji. And Mia responded, and what she said to me is this: I know, in all caps, but you know the saying, go where you are valued. Well.
Even that prime example of the shit that's gotten on my nerves. You know what I'm saying? All these goddamn these coded cryptic messages and shit. That's been very irritating with her. What are you saying? They didn't give you the money you wanted for the next season? Are you saying that the production company and the network? To me, that just extends the conversation way beyond what we're watching on screen, and that's a huge part of the problem, right? With the reality television landscape right now. Whatever kind of innuendos you making, mama, whatever business, misalignments you're referencing in this conversation and shit, put a handle on it, put a name on it. Otherwise, don't say anything, because she just could have said, I know it's been great. Thankful it happened. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, and I think valued was all caps, right? Like you're bringing attention to that messy piece. And I think that's what the problem is. So
I do get, though, I will say from experience, a little bit of experience, that nothing can prepare you for it, right? And you may go in with all the good intentions. I think Kenya went in with the best intentions, but when you get there and you're not received the way you think you're coming up, and there's a exercise I did with this class, it's kind of like called Landmark Education, or ITC, but we had to do an exercise to see like what people receive from you or how they see you versus how you see yourself. And it was very, very mind-blowing.
Eye-opening, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like, damn, I thought I was coming up so warm and welcoming and friendly, but the response I got from the people wasn't how I see myself. And then you start doing woe is me. And I think that I give people a little bit of grace with that, because I do see how that can happen. You're like, because when you know someone, no, that person's really fun, but what they did in that scene isn't what they usually do. And now you're judged by that for 10, 15 years and people hate you over it. It's very frustrating to keep explaining yourself and people not getting to, like, you're not feeling like they're seeing you for who you really are. But I think a lot of us outside of reality TV, just in life, have that issue where we think I'm not giving resting bitch face. I think I look so happy, but you're really not, right? There's a huge difference with a lot of humans with what they think they're putting out there and how people are seeing you. And that's something to just keep in mind, whether you're doing reality or just in life. And I get how you get frustrated where you're like in the comments and I'm going to go where I'm celebrated, because you feel like no matter what I do, they're not going to see me how I see myself. And I don't know if that's a therapy thing. It's very hard to self-evaluate though for most people.
I get it. And I try not to judge, because being under that microscope is hell. You know what I'm saying? Especially on that level of scrutiny and all the other shit. So I get it. You know, she wasn't my favorite cast member. I ain't never made no mistake about, you know, or hid that from the people, but I don't want to see her get fired type shit. You know what I'm saying? I would rather see her show up different. So whatever. But God, again, I wish her much success in other mediums or whatever she wants to do next. Like, good for Mia, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I understand why she left.
Yes, and look, she's in Atlanta, and what better show to join than Atlanta Housewives? So Mia, you know, a lot of people have been seeing you in Atlanta, and hang out with some of the girls, get to know them, baby. Like, I
The
wouldn't
girls from
mind
Love and
seeing.
Hip Hop Atlanta.
Oh wow.
Hang out with them.
She got me watched.
Those girls from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Put her on there. You know what I'm saying? And that's not anything against it. I love Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. They're actually having a great season. Yandy and Rashida have been really giving the people what they need this season. Bambi as well. Spice. They got great cast members on there. I am by no means diminishing the magnitude of the machine that is Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I'm just saying Mia and her storyline.
They have one. Yeah.
Maybe she could go over there. You know what I'm saying? Because Real Housewives of Atlanta is doing fine. They're having a great season. They don't need no Mia.
Are having a great season. Oh, go ahead, Claudia.
Some people in the comments are asking what the class. Look up Landmark Education. You can do it, I think, online, but it's a 3-day weekend thing I did. It was life-changing. It got me out of my depression and seeing myself a little bit differently. And it really helped me just with my relation, just in life. Or ITT. If y'all email me or send me a DM. Ooh, that sounds old as hell. If y'all email me at AOL.com.
The dollop.
What they gonna do? Leave a message on your answering machine, nigga? Look, you know what? Next week I'm gonna watch the comments. Y'all know I never watch the comments while we're recording. Next week I'm gonna watch the comments. I'm gonna respond.
Don't watch the comments. I don't want to at all, Dustin. I like that you know. So we got to get though into this recent episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. As we all said, they're having a great season. And we have to touch on this moment as we get into the rest of this episode. So Drew Sidora decided to accept Britt Edie's invitation and having a sit down with her. Britt felt that in last week's episode, Drew Sidora was a little bit shady, and she wanted to get down to the root of if there's any issue at hand. Drew Sidora looked gorgeous, so she sits down at the table. She looked really good this episode. Not that she looked good in the other episodes,
but extra. She upped it.
I agree.
I know, something happened. I was like, new glass cloud, but Drew looked amazing. And Britt was talking about her situation that happened last week at Kenya's hair spa.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. This is why Claudia clocked it when it comes to when you do reality television. The best thing to do is be yourself, tell the truth, and keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you say one thing in one episode and you say another in another episode and it slightly contradicts itself, it doesn't look great. And we have to address that as well. Baby, Drew Sidora asked Britt if she sold her cat before, and not the cat that Claudia has in her house.
Not Sally and Six.
Yes. She pretty much asked Britt if she ever sold it. Britt said, "What?" Drew said, "Your cat, honey." And ladies, gays, theys, and men, that's down below in between your thank you. So, and then she asked her if she ever did porn I'm only stating what they aired. When Drew Sidora asked Britt if she ever did porn, Britt did stutter when she tried to answer the question, and I think she choked on like her own words, and she ultimately said no, that she did not do porn. She said, "I did not do porn," and that she did not sell her cat. She never sold it, and she also said that she was in her 20s when she did the webcam girl thing, but that she did it with a female best friend and she only did it for 1 week.
I didn't need those details personally. I'm not judging her. I don't give a damn. Like, everybody got to pass whatever. I'm not. The sensational nature of her being naked on webcam does not make me look at her any differently on this show. I am by no means affected by that information. So maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm a strange case. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I feel like she owned her past. She's not my favorite out of the new cast members on the show. But when it comes to this specific situation, it's like, what the fuck? Okay, she sucked the dick. She was naked on webcam. The pictures were shown. We're moving on. Kenya's gone from the show. I don't think she should be, but she's not there anymore. And to be honest, once Kenya leaves the show, that part of that story is over. So whether she was on webcam for 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, who cares if it was a week with a friend, whatever. The fact that the piece of information that people are deeming relevant is the fact that she was on webcam. I don't care how long it was. That's how I feel with it. I'm actually ready to move on from all of this freaky shit, webcams and sucking dicks and all of this. I'm ready to move on and just continue watching The Housewives. I do not care anymore. I don't. Kenya should be there. Britt was wrong for what she said. They should both be a part of the cast. Kenya is not. We're moving on. That's it. That's where I'm at with it.
The webcam thing is not the biggest thing in the world, the biggest negative about her. But listen, I try to be open to this girl. She's just a liar. And she's also showing a little erraticness whenever anyone comes to her and asks her or tries to hold her accountable. The way she kind of pops off is not cute. Like, it's like, are you okay? Like she like starts barking, like how she was barking on Angela last week. Now I peeped more lying with her right this week. So when she was she really misrepresented the brunch when she was talking to Drew, right? She was like, what'd she say? She's like, Angela came at me about questioning her license and said, I know about that insurance and she came from my job. That's not how it came off. That is explain it how it really happened. Angela didn't just come out the gate hot on you.
No, she didn't.
She did not do that. You said something. You lied. In my opinion, you lied about being investigated, having your license taken away from you that you still somehow miraculously have now, right? And when all Angela said is, well, why would they do that? You have to have cause. It's a very legitimate question to ask. Britt's reaction spoke volumes to me. It spoke someone else knows this business and you're trying to call me out and I don't really have a good excuse. So let me just get rah-rah with you. And have you not noticed what's been going on? And the way she reacted to me, Hit Dog is hollering all day long with that. Then when she went to and even if you want to give her a pass and say, listen, the girl was emotional. She had the right to feel away after what Kenya did and expose her with those pictures. The way she was misrepresenting and talking and lying about Angela, another red flag. We've had a red flag from Britt every single week. And I think she's not a girl's girl. She doesn't do well in girl groups. I can tell this because girl code with women are usually really good communicators. We usually over communicate with the details, and details mean a lot because when you leave certain things out or you insert certain things in, you're trying to manipulate and control the narrative. Your story from day one is everyone's coming from me. I've been so beautiful since high school. And it's just been the story of my life. People don't like me, not because I'm an asshole, because I lie and I'm very inconsistent and very narcissistic, in my opinion, but because it's just because of my beauty. Honey, newsflash. Everyone on that show is beautiful. And somehow they're all making it in life without this big cross on their back, this burden they have. And I think I want you to turn it around, Britt, and get us back to be more on your team. But the way you're going to have to do that is be vulnerable. Stop being fake gangster, but then you want to be a victim when you get called out. Like we were talking about men earlier, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Are you a gangster that always has your gun everywhere and I'll shoot a bitch and I got a whip and I'll do this? Or are you this hurt young woman that is really being unfairly judged by some bad judgment in our past, we'd all have. We can't figure out how to feel about you because depending on the moment or the brunch or the lunch,
we get a different version.
So who are you? I don't know who you are.
And I think that's the struggle. Listen, I started this season and my like for her hasn't changed, but I'm going to be honest, it is tainted a bit. I said episode 1, my favorite is Kelly. I fucks with Britt. I like all the girls. I said by episode 3, Kelly, I still love you, but this Angela Oakley woman is rising to the occasion. Britt, I still like you. Even after the whole incident that happened at King and Spot, I still said, look, I still like Britt. Angela, sorry, Kelly, love you. Angela slowly taking your spot as my number 1 favorite. Because again, I already know Shamia. So I'm not counting Shamia. This week, I'm going to be honest. Claudia clocked it. Dustin, you did too. I agree with Dustin. I don't care what you did in your past. I don't give a shit. I worked on Jersey Housewives, where Danielle Staub admitted to all the stuff she had to go through once the ladies discovered this book. Right?
Cop without a badge.
Cops without a badge, honey. Okay? I worked on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, where Jocelyn Hernandez admitted I was a stripper and I don't give a shit. The thing is this. I want more reality stars to be like Danielle Staub and Jocelyn, who says, look, this was my past. I did it. I own it. And what? And what? And Claudia is right in the sense of, I like Britt still. It's hard for me. I like to grow with Britt because I feel like it's still coming across performative. So for me, it's one of those things where I don't need the heavy explanation. It's sort of like when you're dating somebody new and they over-explain to you their whereabouts. It's like, okay, you were cheating. Like, you're doing too much explanation for me, bro. Either you went out for the night and you got home, cool. The thing with Britt, the over-explanation of the insurance investigation based on what Kenya did, it doesn't seem real to me. It could be. It doesn't smell real. The webcam thing, I don't care what you did, but the story, it was me and my best friend, and we did it for a week. I made a lot of money. Okay, but why does it take Drew Sidora to poke holes in the story or ask information for you to tell us things in bites? I want Britt to say, attention, please. This is who I was. It ain't who I am anymore. So that's what it is. I want her to do that, but I also agree with Dustin. After this week's episode, I don't want to hear about Britt's past. I don't give a shit. But I do want Britt to really figure out, who are you going to be? Are you Jocelyn Hernandez, a woman we all love because Jocelyn has owned who she was, and we're like, if she owns it, we're not going to be speaking bad about it? Or do you want to be somebody that comes across vulnerable? And if so, you can't, like Claudia said, constantly overreact every time somebody challenges your thoughts.
I think she's trying too hard to be that bitch. And she needs to figure out who Britt is. That's what I think. She's trying way too hard to have these moments. Like, she couldn't even maintain her confessional train of thought when she's talking about the situation. She's talking about how everyone's doing all this stuff to her and people coming for her, blah, blah, blah. And then what does she do? She immediately goes to attack Angela and say, well, I heard something about her husband and he had a baby on her. Lady, just when we want to show you a little bit of like, oh, okay, that's messed up. Here you go again, bringing in people, giving them strays. Angela did not come for you. Britt, Angela did not come for you. But now that you've opened that can of worms, she is going to come for you, and you're not going to like it because you clearly cannot handle conflict. Like, you get too hype and you can't have a conversation. You can't have a spicy conversation. Housewives is for spicy, high-end reading is what it's supposed to be. And you're giving every single thing makes you react. Like you now makes you want to go back and like think about the conversation with the ring. Why she got so defensive with Kenya in the ring? Is it not real? Are you not really married? Is there a story there? Because as a journalist, I will go down that rabbit hole. Like her reaction was not normal for someone to just commenting, oh, that's not the ring. That there's a band and there's an engagement ring. So now a moment that shouldn't even matter. Now I want to go back and look and investigate.
Clock it, Claudia. Your new name is Claudia Clock It Journalist Jordan.
I mean, that's what happens when you open the door for that sort of reaction to your behavior on this show. It's no secret that Britt has been a loose cannon anytime there's been a situation that was kind of testy or, you know, high energy. She reacted in a way that kind of like went 3 steps further than was necessary. And so after that happening, after that becoming a pattern of behavior, then in addition to the, you know, the whole, you know, pow shit, all of that stuff, it just makes her seem like a person who is not able to kind of think first. And being a loose cannon does have a value on these ensemble cast reality shows. You know, it can surface as witty retorts, or it can surface as, you know, unique reflections on the situation. But sometimes, as you all have both just framed perfectly, it can surface as overreacting in situations. And unfortunately, that's what Britt has been prone to do. So I want to like her. I think she's cute. I like the fact that she talks through her nose. You know what I'm saying? That's quirky. We love quirks in the Housewives universe. But I just feel like she goes a little bit further than necessary when she feels slighted. And that's dangerous, you know?
I don't like how she talks. I feel like it's a bad nose job, and I think it's too small, and that's why she sounds like that. And I wish the pictures of her when she was younger before that nose job, I think she looked even better. And that's another thing about listening to the comments on social media. Someone probably told her she needed to do that, and it maybe it was a deviated septum, but it's extra. It's overly deviated. I don't know what it is, but it's too much, and it's another thing that just irritates me about her. Am I perfect physically? No, I'm not. Y'all tell me all the time my shortcomings. I get it, and I have to receive it so I can have my opinions.
Wait, your shortcoming is your what?
Well, you know, y'all, they definitely like made a big deal about my toes. They say I have a witchy nose. I don't have big lips. Whatever, my hair won't grow. It's the same length as 5th grade. All these things.
You're so pretty, friend. Fuck that.
I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. Fuck it. It is what it is. It's life. Whatever.
I don't have base in my voice. Listen, I've been told you cute till you talk. I don't give a shit. I don't care. God has blessed me with a deep voice. I'm deep in other ways. I don't give a shit.
Deep in the pocket.
Anyways, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. You can't sit up here and just don't listen. All my people, God created you His image, and listen. You want to pay money to do stuff, do it. But really do it because it's something you want to do.
Right.
And I do encourage all of that. I appreciate Dr. Wendy once again owning up all her plastic surgery she got. I thought she was beautiful then. She's a beautiful woman now, but she owned up to it, that it was her choice, her decision.
And we moved the hell on.
And we moved on.
That's simple.
So, I do want to move on from that. Before we go back into Housewives, I do want to end something today because we do want to move on to Kenya Moore. Finally, Dustin. If y'all haven't followed Dustin on Twitter, look at Dustin. Dustin literally tweeted on Friday, "Where is Kenya Moore?" Because he did it all caps. So Kenya Moore finally dropped her much anticipated confessional. It was 30 minutes long, where she pretty much explained her side of the story. Go on Kenya's YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Kenya Moore Official. One takeaway that I wanted to discuss is I thought it was well done. She looked gorgeous. The production value was gorgeous. We keep forgetting Kenya Moore is a producer. She did
Nene needs to hire her for the Nene Leak show. They need some help over there. So maybe Nene can get with Kenya. Nene can get with Nene. Nene needs to read some. She needs to research, and she needs a producer that prepares something for her so she can research. Who don't know Latasha Scott got a son? So all I'm saying before we go into all that, Maybe Kenya, because her confessionals were beautifully produced and executed. I agree. They could use that over there at the Nene Leakes show. So maybe Kenya and Nene can link up in that way.
Dustin, please go on Nene Leakes' page. I thought Nene's thing was fine, but Dustin,
no, you didn't.
Nene, Dustin, Nene,
you just was a guest. And you know that was a mess. You know it was. Go ahead.
Nene dropped a video today where she answered all of y'all questions.
No, she didn't, because I watched it. She dropped the video today where she said, yes, it's fucked up. And it's going to be fucked up because I want it to be fucked up. That's what she said in the video she dropped. So now that we know she needs some help, let's just find her the help she needs because we want Nene to win. Right?
I think Nene would be good. I think Nene, I saw a little bit of her talk show, and I think she needs producers with better for questions that will provide her. Like when Fox Soul, we had Justin that would definitely do the research and provide background information. So if you weren't prepared yourself, you had the safety net of your producer giving you like some context of the stories. You had the questions, you had a little bit of research, and I do think Nene works well in an ensemble cast. I think she would be good on a panel. I think she would be like, like on the reel, something like that. Carrying your own show by yourself is a lot. It's hard because if there's dead air, it's on you. And I like that she wants to do that. I think she would be good on a panel with like maybe a couple people that she really rock with, that she has good chemistry with. I think she'd be good with that. But I'm glad that she's doing her show though. Like,
Carlos, you give great interviews. Have you seen Nene any tips? Your interviews are incredible.
First of all, the beauty of, and listen, this is true tea. A lot of the girls call me for advice. What I will say, me and Nene are friends in real life. Me and Nene talk all the time. We talk all of the time. She's my friend. I call Nene for advice. She calls me. Like that's the relationship and the friendship that we have. What I will say is, look, one thing Nene did say that I love, that's who she is. She is showing you guys her process. And I encourage all of you to continue to support her, because I started my podcast being in my cloffice, right? And then after I did my one-on-one with Nene, she gave me the advice, which is why I took her advice. She said, you need to do in-person interviews. So because of Nene's advice, I started doing my interviews in person. And it worked out for me. So we're watching a woman learn and grow.
We sure are watching her learn and grow.
So
row
the Nene Leakes show is available on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Nene Leakes. So please support. And she did answer some of your questions, and her interview with me is on there. And she also has interviewed Latasha Scott from Escape.
Now, sit up there and lie the whole time.
Latasha
sit up there lying about all the things Candy been debunked. Don't speak on it. We all saw it. And Nene should have known that. Nene should have known that. I love Nene's personality. I want her shit to go far and be successful. But she got to try. And she's got to give a damn enough to do a little research and hire a producer. That's all she need. And Latasha was wrong. She sat up there and lied the whole entire time. And y'all both know it if you've seen it.
A producer will help with all that kind of stuff. And then you won't be like, a producer's supposed to be there to help you not fall.
Yes.
Like where you're weak. Like Nene has a personality. She has the glam. She has all the extravagance. Listen, this is real advice. It's not hate. Why would I hate? There's no need to hate. And so she has all the tools. A producer will help you so much with the things you don't have time to think about. You should just go and be the star and be the personality and have someone to help you out. So
100%.
So you can get your viral moment where you can clock someone when they're lying to you, or if there's something that's inaccurate, you can say, hold up now. My producer just told me that, did you not say in 2018? And then bam, then you're protected. That's all we're saying, Nene. We're not dissing you. No, we're not dissing you at all.
Well, I want to watch the Nene Leakes show. I've been wanting to watch it for years.
Make sure you
Nene
subscribe
had
to
a talk show years ago. Let's keep it real. Nene would have, and there were rumors and rumblings years ago about her doing something with Deborah Mercury and, really getting her feet wet in the talk show space. She would be a natural. She'd be perfect at that with the right support, right? With the appropriate support. She just needs that over there on her YouTube show, and she'll have it.
Look at Carlos. He's sick of us tonight with the Mia talk. And now he's like,
Listen, you guys are able to have your opinion. Listen, I love the Nene Leakes show. Nene has dropped a video today, and please make sure y'all watch it. She answers some of the fan questions, and is one of many to come. So, getting back to Kenya Moore's YouTube channel, which you guys should also support Kenya Moore, support Porsha's YouTube channel, support everybody, child. Okay. So, Kenya Moore.
For real though, support all them. Support all them. Support Nene's show. Watch it. We want it to succeed. This is not by any means telling anybody not to. I want to see Nene do well. I just want to be clear about that. I want her shit to win.
If you really want to gag the girls, Kenya, Porsha, and Nene should team up and make a super panel. Have Kenya produce it and make it top-notch quality. Porsha and Nene can do their big personality thing and be cute and be funny and be shady. And it could be beautifully done. And the three of them together would be those numbers together. That's what y'all need to be doing. I think y'all all rock. Y'all, I think you're cool. I'm not really sure where they are now, but that would be a show that would, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Okay. So going back to Kenya Moore. It is hot up there.
Oh, are we standing up and are we showing outfits, Carlos? Is that what we're doing? Are we showing outfits? Okay. Like this one. Are we doing? We showing body today? We showing body?
Shout out to Kendra G. We doing the Kendra cam. Shout out to Kendra G.
Right. So okay, we're back. So Kenya Moore dropped her much anticipated YouTube episode called Confessions. I thought it was well done. I thought she looked great. The production value was on point. Mm-hmm. She pretty much said her point of view, and based on the interview, it does appear she wants to move on from all of this, and she really wanted the world to know that what she did, allegedly is not RP. And she also revealed that, she was disinvited to the reunion. Her words, not mine. Do you guys think Kenya should return to the show, or do you guys think Kenya should move on?
Yes, she should return to the show. But if the option is not available for her to do so, then she should move on. But what do I think? What do I think Kenya Moore should be a part of the season 16 cast and should still be actively involved in the show as a housewife? 100%. Do I believe Kenya Moore deserves to be at their reunion for season 16? 100%. Do I believe Kenya Moore deserves a redemption arc season 17? Opportunity for that. 100%. Yes.
Listen, bravo. If you want your reunion to have ratings through the roof, the girls on the Now are going to give a cute reunion, but it's not going to be epic without Kenya. You need Kenya on there to bring this thing full circle. Even if you don't want to continue business with her after this, you got to have her on that reunion. That is a huge part of the season. And by the end of the season, I think Britt, my prediction, is going to be so damaged from all the lies and all the inconsistencies that people are going to be like, I see why she went so hard at her. Oh, that wasn't right. But it wasn't right. Okay, it wasn't right. Neither one of them were right. It's never cool to slut shame and all that kind of stuff, but that's what reality shows do. Okay. Right. Every single show does it. So yes, it would be huge because we all want it. We all want to at least know how she felt. We all want to know, do you feel redeemed? We want to know what you think. We want to see Britt face Kenya at the end of this, and not in a parking lot with people between you, when I don't even think Kenya was in the parking lot when she was popping all that trash. I want to see it. Bravo, come on, give us Kenya at the reunion. But like I said, this is why I thought she did the YouTube channel, because she wasn't going to be asked to be there. That's what I thought. But yeah.
Listen, I'm happy that Kenya was able to tell her own story, her own way. And what I do like about her doing that is she was able to do it with no interruption. Prior to that, obviously, she went on Tamron Hall show. Mm-hmm. And that, listen, it's a lot of pressure when you're on a stage. And me and Kenya laughed at this later when she said hindsight is 50-50. I said, well, bitch, I have never heard it was 50-50. I thought it was 20-20. So, you know, there's a lot of things that, right? I'm like, Kenya, she said, I know, Carlos, shut up. I said, girl, not hindsight being 50-50, girl. But my point is, sometimes your nerves can get the best of you. And I was happy that she did it her way. Again, watching Sinners this weekend, going back to that, ownership and doing things on your own is super important. And that's why I listen. I know we're all having fun and all that stuff, but that's why I love that we get to do this. I love that Nene has her own show. I love that Porsha doing her YouTube channel. I love that Kenya told her own story her way. And it just goes to show you that the power is within you. The power is always within you. And the more that we as a community can at the very least, understand that and work together when we can to help each other build and to take constructive criticism and to not always take things so seriously, to have fun. Well, what being in the entertainment industry is fun. And yes, a lot of shit comes with it that isn't fun, right? But I love that I'm seeing my girls do their own thing, because to me, I always tell my girls the power is within you, and I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. Okay, so with that being said, this episode of Atlanta Housewives was also emotional because we saw Drew Sidora and RHOP go to court and deal with their impending divorce and custody case with their children. It was hard to watch. I'm going to say why. Listen, I know some of y'all call Drew be lying, right? And I understand that. I understand that, right? I appreciated this scene because it was nice to see Drew vulnerable, because you don't see her be vulnerable when she's around the girls as much. And maybe because she just doesn't feel comfortable being that way around them. Who knows? I felt so bad for her when she was in the car and she learned that the judge said that the case would be unsealed. So you see her in the car not being happy with that. RHOP is still able to be in the basement, and he was celebrating that. And he was celebrating that the case is not going to be sealed, which when I saw that go down and they're in the parking lot and she pulled down the window and she cusses him out, and in his own way, he's kind of gloating. What struck me in that very moment was RHOP is hurt for, again, RHOP and Drew, when they were married, didn't give us a lot of information about what they were going through in their marriage, besides him being in Florida. RHOP wants something to be exposed when it comes to Drew. And that's why he is celebrating the case being unsealed. And Drew is sad about it because there may be some things she doesn't want to be out there. That's how I took it. Yeah. But what do you guys think from that?
Yeah, for sure. And isn't it scary to think that someone that you're with right now, that you could be possibly with right now, that you love, and you think they love you, and you trust them, and you open up and you be vulnerable and you tell them about the things in your life. But then when you break up, they're gloating that it's going to be exposed in media, and then you're on a reality show, and this might potentially destroy this person that you still have kids with to co-parent. Like, listen, I don't know if you like Drew or don't like Drew, or like Ralph or don't like Ralph. That's nasty work. That's nasty work to want all the details of something between people to just be out there like that. So I didn't like it, but I Drew was kind of not keeping it real though when she said, "Oh, I'm not worried about what's being what would be exposed. It's bad for him," and we don't know that to be true or false yet. But when her reaction suggests that it's really something that she doesn't want out there, that will be detrimental to her. And being on a reality show, it's going to be exposed, blown up, dug into, and it's probably going to get a lot, be 10 times worse. So.
Yeah, I'm with Claudia on this one, as I often am. But I'm with Claudia on this one because I agree. Obviously, whatever this information is that's going to be made public, is something that Drew is probably not the most proud of, or not the most, eager about people having access to. And we can all understand that, right? Your private time is your private time. Your private life is your private time. Your private life and your business is your business. The problem is Drew been lying since day one, just like you said, Carlos. We can take it back to even last week. We saw how she just sat up there and straight up lied with a straight face. Nothing about her demeanor, her delivery suggested that she was joking when she said that Michael Jordan was her cousin, because Drew Jordan is her maiden name. You know what I'm saying? And so
we're cousins too.
Right.
Me,
And
her,
I'm related to Diana Ross. Me and Tracy cousins. You know what I'm saying? That's so
me
yeah,
and
right.
Dr. Martin Luther King are cousins.
Of course.
That's right.
Maybe down the line we are, you guys. No?
So I just feel like, that coupled with, like Drew being a liar on the show so far, coupled with her just trepidation about certain information coming to the light, it just suggests that there's something she's trying to hide, which I don't want to beat her up about that, because maybe it is something that she just don't want people to know about her. That's fair, you know what I'm saying? But when you were the one who brought to the forefront the Tampa shit, you were the one who brought to the forefront all these women that she alleged that Ralph had been cheating with. She spoke about correspondence, text messages from these women. Like, to her, she really painted a picture of Ralph to be a certain type of person. And so it looks to me like he is taking the court regulated route to get to some accurate transparency. It looks like he kind of played the long game with this one, and she wasn't I don't know, she wasn't excited about the outcome of that. So
yeah, no, I think you clocked it. Look, I think what we're witnessing is when Drew revealed some of the alleged transgressions that Rap was doing on national television, I could see why he would say, "You were too concerned about the kids then." I could see why he would say that. And one thing about some, not all, some men, if they feel like, okay, I did something, but let's not act like you didn't do anything either. I think, listen, I think we need to buckle up, because unfortunately, for all of them, right? I think a lot of stuff's gonna come out, and Ralph doesn't seem like he's concerned about how this will impact her. But Claudia is right. Listen, when you're married to somebody, I think it's sad when both parties go through that phase in their marriage, because you kind of forget the reasons why you guys fell in love in the first place. And that's why I always respected the amicable breakups when it allows it to be amicable. I know in some cases it doesn't, right? A lot of cases it doesn't. But when you're able to say, let's just separate and keep it moving, that's the best thing. But listen, Drew has a lot to be concerned about, because I just don't think Rob is letting up. And I didn't think about that, Dustin. I do think it's because their storyline for 2 years straight was this Florida alleged transgression. I want to get into the girls going to Nashville really fast before I let you guys go. So the girls go to Nashville to celebrate Porsha's birthday. Porsha did not invite Drew because of what we know. She's working with Dennis, and she did not give Porsha a heads up that she was working with Dennis, although she is a Go Naked Hair ambassador. That's Porsha's company, in case y'all don't know that. So Angela Oakley, Angela, you still have the number one spot, baby. And where have you been my whole life?
We can take it back to Arsenio Hall with it. Yeah, Angela. Okay.
And I really love Kelly.
Yes.
Hey,
Kelly. I still love Kelly. Kelly, I still love you, baby. But you're only as good as your last episode. So for these past 2 episodes, Angela won. That's all I'm going to say. But Kelly, I still love you, boo. Okay.
Yeah, Kelly killing it.
Angela decided to invite Drew and told Porsha this at the table. Her and Porsha did exchange words. Porsha, it's her birthday trip. She invited Marietta and a few other girls. And she told them what was going on. And Angela stood on business that I felt the need to invite her, and that's what I'm going to do. What did you guys think about that whole exchange between Porsha and Angela?
Porsha was giving love and hip hop in that moment, but I
Mm.
understand how she felt. If I have a birthday party trip, I'm very particular about the energy that I have around me. And I have to say that Porsha is right to feel a way. If I say I'm not inviting someone, then that's what it is. It's not what you feel. It's not your trip.
Right.
It is my trip. Yes, it is production trip, but it is still my trip. So as much as I love Angela, and as much as I like Drew, I do think that it's wrong to force that issue, because it's like you got to know that's going to be a problem. That's girl code. I don't like when people, I have a dinner and it's like, I invite you and then you bring two people with you. Who are these people? Who are your mans? Who's this person? Who's this girl? You might be a fan that's sneaking and taking pictures and videos, or in this case, I just want people around me who I chose when it's time to celebrate me. So, but Porsha got crunk. She didn't have to do all that. Porsha could be like, hey, I said what I said. That's it. Like, because you're kind of getting a little bit into that Britt area, kind of getting too rowdy. It's giving too much. But I get where she's coming from. She wasn't
I
wrong.
agree. And I also think that Porsha's been holding back a lot this season. Porsha's interactions and her behavior has been very measured, right? It's not the typical Porsha that we've seen in seasons past, where she would just go the hell off and cuss somebody out or whatever. And let's not even start talking about her spinoff, the Porsha's Family Matters spinoff with Simon and Dennis and his family and her family. We saw a different side of Porsha. So I actually welcome this new calmer Porsha, right? I think she has been holding back some of her reactions to the things that have been going on. And when they were at that table, she did kind of get into the petty bag a little bit, right? But for me as a viewer, I was all right with it because it hasn't been what we've been getting in totality from her this season like it has been in seasons prior. So I wasn't mad at her saying, you know what, Angela, I didn't want Drew here and I'm mad you brought her. I wasn't mad at Angela saying, I know you don't want her here and I brought her. I wasn't mad at the other friends. And another thing that was cool about this Nashville trip, these are the young ladies that Porsha really hangs out with outside of the cameras in real life. If you follow her or Candy Burris or Mayetta or any of these ladies on Instagram, Toya Johnson, Rushing, if you follow these women, you see that these girls, the young ladies that actually joined Porsha on this Nashville trip, that's her clique in real life. Those are the girls she really, really hangs with outside of the camera. And I would love to see some of those relationships explored. I know that there's overlap there with some of the other cast members. They're in relationship with some of the other cast members. I would love to see them tap into that bag as we move into season 17, 18, and this keeps going. Those are the real relationships that will make a very robust show for us to watch because it's actual real connection. So that was my takeaway in that moment. I was like, dang, these really are the girls that she's with in real life.
Mm-hmm.
She's so easily able to communicate with them, explain to them so quickly, what was going on with the dynamics relating to Angela Oakley and Drew Sidora. She was able to communicate that to those ladies so quickly because they're real friends. So bring some of them on. We need some more friends of the show. You know what I'm saying? Bring some of them ladies on. Ami, Pro, whatever those young ladies were, bring those young ladies on. Let's make them friends of the show next season and really get into some actual connections.
I agree. Like I was like, oh, her crew is cute. Like I
right.
like a girl that can hang with other women that are pretty and don't want to just be the only pretty girl in the group. I think that was super cute. I like that. And I think that Porsha needs to do more of that this season because honestly, this is no hate, but she's coming off more like a friend of the show than a housewife.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. Like all her stuff is like related to Drew. It's making Drew look bigger than her actually on the show. We're seeing Drew with a singing career. We're seeing Drew with her divorce situation, and we're seeing Drew with her issues with the group and now the butting heads with Porsha. We're seeing more of a storyline, and with Porsha, we're just seeing her react to the other housewives. Like Porsha set up, like even the Nashville trip, yeah, kind of. But not really. It didn't really feel it didn't really feel like it was like a big Porsha moment. It really didn't. It was more about Angela bringing Drew and you being mad. So Porsha, don't let these girls punk you out of your spot by you kind of returning energy and giving that Brit energy. You should be coming in like you are above this. I've been here for many, many, many years. I've had specials. I've had spinoffs. Give that energy because if not, you're going to get swallowed up every single episode because I kind of feel like for an episode to be about your birthday, I feel like she was giving friend of the show this episode.
I get it. A lot of people have said that, and I think they've attributed it to her not being able to film whatever that shit was.
Simon, yeah, he's
in the
blocking.
crib. So we lost a little bit of like the Porsha centered elements. We've only been seeing her react to the shit that's going on amongst the ladies. So I agree, Claudia. It does feel less than sufficient for a Real Housewife, especially a Real Housewife who was announced first of the new cast, right?
Yeah.
She was positioned as the reason to watch this season. So unfortunately, we aren't getting, it's not living up to the hype per se.
Carlos, production wise, do you think that they are really propping up the newer girls and kind of, phasing out the older girls because of salaries? Because if you think about what Cynthia was getting paid, what Porsha, what Kenya definitely was getting paid, and Candy, they got rid of like the top, it was top heavy, right? So the newer girls now, I know what those new first offers are, and how much my lawyer had to fight just to get it like a working, a livable wage, right? If you bring in the new girls, like you're buying more time because they do give you raises. You do get nice raises on that show. If you start off low, the next year they may double it. But production wise, that could be a way of phasing out the heavy payroll and really because they definitely are. The new girls are eating it up.
You're muted, bro.
Sorry, I think the kudos goes to everybody involved because it's the first season of Atlanta in a long time where we collectively, the three of us in the world, love the new girls, right?
Yeah.
The job well done from a production side and casting. I don't think they're trying to get rid of the older cast members because of money. I do think this. We are living in a time where we all know in this business, you got to shake things up for it to grow. And sometimes people do phase out. I don't think it's an age thing. Kyle Richards is still the queen bee of her show, and she's in her early 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And that show, for example, Claudia, I think they have a lot of women over the age of like 38 on that show. I think when it comes to Porsha, I think Dustin hit it too. Listen, when they hired her to come back, and she said yes, it was her decision. She was with Simon, and I think it's one of those things where I think what people aren't remembering or understanding, and Porsha did touch on this on her YouTube channel, she's going through a divorce in real time, and the person that she's divorcing isn't able to be on the show. We saw Cynthia and Peter go through a divorce. We saw Phaedra and Apollo go through a divorce. We saw Nene and Greg go through a divorce. I think, unfortunately, 75% of Porsha's real life isn't being shown because you can't get Simon's POV.
Yeah.
So imagine showing up to work in your headspace, Claudia and Dustin, is dealing with, we saw Simon crash out on Twitter.
Yeah.
If he's crashing that way on Twitter, imagine what he's doing in her life. Imagine what he's doing in court. And I do implore people, and listen, this is not me defending anybody. I think, listen, we all watch the show for the 42 minutes and keep it moving, right? So this is no shade to anybody. I think what we have to remember, though, is 75% of Porsha's real life is not being shown. And she's dealing with something that she's unable to show us. So when she's walking in these scenes, you don't know what she had to go through with Randy Kessler, child. You know what I mean? So I do think
that's fair.
So I do think a lot. I think that's what's happening, honestly. And I think the reason why the rest of the girls are having great moments, the newbies, I mean, is because I have to give it to production. It is the most perfect casting on an ensemble show that's been on for more than 10 years that I've seen in a long time. It is perfectly crafted, and I'm happy that we're all able to watch this show week to week and still find interesting things to talk about. So, I do think that's what's happening. But look, we'll see what happens on this trip. Next week's episode, something gets revealed. And
can I jump in real quick and just say,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I do fall. It's not really totally Porsha's fault. She can't show her full story. But Kenya went through a divorce where Mark was not cooperating and she got dragged and she had to deal with all that kind of stuff. So maybe find some creative ways to show what you're going through so we can feel for you during this time. Because I'm sure Simon's being very petty. But like to just not really show it, it's like we're missing another huge part. We're missing Kenya. We're missing Simon. We're missing Porsha's.
It feels incomplete. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah, that's why it's giving like friend. And I think even Porsha could have done this without Simon being on the show, which I'm so surprised that his thirsty behind that wants to be famous so bad would turn down the opportunity. Like I would think he'd want to be in it and like be bitchy and tell his side of the story and like, you know, run his mouth and get
I'm so glad he's not.
But like
I'm telling you, that would have been too much for me. I did not want to hear nothing Simon had to say. I don't give a fuck about Simon. I like Porsha when it comes to the two of them, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about what he had to say. So I'm very glad that he's not a part of this. Personally, just for me, I don't want to hear Simon.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about voice tones again? You know how you can't stand Britt Edie's voice. I can't stand Simon's.
Oh no. Tisa Tells on YouTube does a great Simon impersonation, and she sounds just like the Cookie Monster when she talks. It's so funny. I love Tisa. She covered that divorce, that marriage, and the whole thing with Fallon, Porsha, and Simon so good. It was so funny how she would, Simon was. Please go look up her impersonation of Simon. It's so funny.
So that concludes. First of all, we have 5,000 people who have stayed with us for 2 hours. Shout out to the Raindrops. So before I let y'all go, Claudia and Jordan, obviously you guys have your fans in the super chat. So I want to read a few of them that was not shown. So let me do that first before you guys go about your merry way. D. Hayden said, all y'all # celebrity cousins. I can't. We love you too. You have a fan in Jufine. Love you, Dustin.
Much love.
Not perfect until Britt the beard leaves.
Oh,
and
not
be nice. Be nice. And have a lot. And you pay a lot of money, Ralph. And you are so
and crazy. And popping his shit in them comments.
I cannot do it. Is crazy. Okay. And baby, and listen. And I can't take you. Okay. And
thank you for fucking with
we got
show,
Kristen Wills. Okay, listen, that's all the super chat we got.
Claudia says she don't like hearing her talk.
I can't. So Claudia, Dustin, anything you guys got going on that you want the Raindrops or y'all fans to know about before I let y'all go?
Definitely Accidentally Informed podcast Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. on the East. Erica and I will recap our Vegas weekend, and she had a photographer there. That girl can drink and never gets drunk. Well, we had a fun time. I'll just
much love to Erica Cobb. Much love
her.
Love Erica Cobb. She's so beautiful too.
And thank you all the girls that came out and just really turned out like I had a great time. So please watch the podcast this Wednesday. Accidentally Informed. Please come and subscribe to our podcast because we do not have a lot of followers yet, and hopefully we can get to the level of the other ladies that are doing their thing as well. So,
hell yeah.
And you will, and you will, and you will. Okay, Dustin, you got anything?
Yeah, check out Holding Court with me and my baby Ebony K. Williams, my sister. Check us out every Wednesday and Friday. We release 2 days a week now. Also, check out the Friend Zone podcast. We turned 10 years old this year in August, so make sure you check out the Friend Zone podcast everywhere podcasts are heard on Wednesdays, and there's a lot of other stuff coming. So it's just God is good. And he's in the blessing business. Our season, y'all. So much love to the Raindrops.
Yes, we love you guys. Kisses. I love you too. All right. Dustin and Claudia, thank you guys so much. I will see y'all next week.
I love y'all. See y'all next week.
Yes. All right. What? Monday Night Live is live. So we never know what we're going to talk about. But tonight's episode was fun and fantastic. So 2 more things before I let you guys go. I have a new weekly Sunday series called Soulful Sundays. If you follow me on Instagram, yes, like and subscribe, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a new Sunday series called Soulful Sundays. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm big on doing a happy Sunday post. So every Sunday, I'll be doing something longer, like 15, 20 minutes, maybe longer than that. My first episode dropped yesterday. Check it out. I talk about my career trajectory and how God was always in it. So check that out every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. I'll be dropping it. And I hope it inspires you the way it has inspired me. And Raindrops, I'm dropping an exclusive interview tomorrow with a couple. Thank you. A couple. Thank you, Jermaine Collin. Can y'all guess who it is? I'm dropping it tomorrow at 10 a.m. on my YouTube channel. It's a couple who is always in the press. And for the first time, they are giving me the exclusive on everything they have going on. Any guesses? Brian, you are so messy. I can't. Nikki C, I love you. 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 Y'all are messy. I love it. I'm but I will say this. It is really good. And I hope you guys walk away with learning more about them. I know that's right. Beyonce, Jay-Z. I mean, don't sleep on me, baby. You know what I'm saying? All right, Raindrops. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification button. Yes, Miss Netta and Charles. I'm obsessed. Soulful Sundays every Sunday. Monday Night Live every Monday. Tuesdays, exclusive interviews, and more to come. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all. What's the date? Tomorrow, and then Sunday. All right. Bye.